Well, you make memories. You make good memories, you make bad memories. But all the memories that I can recall, some are bad, but most of them are good. Growing up with people that believed and had been a little dignity and pride about themselves, the things they do, and the things they instilled in their children growing up. So those are one of my greatest one-time memories. My father teaching us how to be respectable young men in the community, how to go to work a job that somebody gives you and pays you decent money. You get the 8 hours of work or you leave the job. You can't do. Those are things that, to me, makes a good childhood memory. But, sometimes I understand some people don't get the opportunity to have memories. Some of the memories that they have are bad ones. Most are all bad. It's not because of their doing. It's just things happen in general that causes things to happen to have the type of memory. Like I said, all memories are not good memories. All my memories that I had of my family, not all good, but they weren't all bad. You put the two side by side, they probably about equal though. Good days bad. I remember one of the things that some of my fun childhood memories. One of the going on a family trip when we was real young. Is my parents going to see one of my aunts, and mind you, my father, when I say my father, that's me, my stepfather. I call him my father. I say, I think was like with the dog. He's going to trip to see his sister. So we make a turn, and the road is like, it's closed. I know it now, but like I said, then we was young. We didn't know how the road those were. So my mother, seeing the black and white sign, she knew that was caution. But she said, hey, you can't go this way. And him, my father being a type person, he's like, why not? You can't see a sign doesn't look right. She said, and you could tell because the part of the road was cut out, but so you could tell it had a pile of dirt. And let me tell you something. This guy punched the gas and jumped over this dirt. I lie to you not. If that was not the funniest thing I've seen in my life, he was the Dukes of Hazzard before the Dukes of Hazzard. That car, it was a Ford, I know it was a Ford or green Ford LTD. And that thing hit that hunk of dirt and landed, boom, boom, car rocket, and we rocked in the car. And once the car settled, he stopped and looked at all the, he said, y'all okay? And we back there, we laughed so hard, we couldn't even talk, but we was just dying laughing. Because it was so funny to us being young kid. We were cracking up. We could have been killed, man. But we was back there cracking up. So my mom's like, she was going off on him, right? And he's like, man, whatever. So she said, all right, go back that way. So finally we got around with to my our aunt's house. And it was just, that was just to me as children, it's just a fun memory. Just doing stuff that's out of the blue. Knew it was wrong, but he did not know. But my mother knew it. And we didn't know, like I said, we kids, man, we back there just rocking. The car jumped up in the air, we just laughing. And I'm just, cutting up. It didn't matter. But sometimes in life, man, you have to relax. Don't let life throw a lot of curveballs at you. You get so wound up that you can't just have a day of relaxation and sit still long and sit yourself down long enough just to say, you know what? I just want to relax and just remember some of the good times and some of the bad times I've had in my life. But like I said, a lot of stuff, just create memories, man. Your kids. Like, you buy your kids all these toys when they're real young. I promise you, they probably won't remember all them half of them toys. But I guarantee you stop and take them to like out into a beach on a Saturday or something, and then let them go play in the sand. That's one of the memories they'll last forever with them. Because that's more memorable. Because they actually get to do something that they're enjoying. That's a memory worth having. Those are memories captured on pictures. When you put them back, you say, hey, when you get older, you look back at this picture, you're gonna really laugh at yourself. That's true. I was just about to look at pictures of us being young and me, I was young, oh God, before I got in law, I was small, I was very small. I was probably 130 pounds, 140 most when I first got in law. I didn't weigh that much. I didn't have much weight, but one thing I was fast. Now I am so worse. But creating good memories, man. Like I said, you're not always going to be good, but treat memories and treat those memories with your friends and look back at those memories that you created with your friends. I mean, the guys that I kind of hung with, man, we got we got memories that I can't talk about, that I won't talk about. Now, some of them I will, but some I just can't. It's too bad. When I say too bad, meaning they're very good, but not the people on here. Not on the podcast I talk about them. Because we were doing things that was even created. I'm trying to tell you, but we had fun. And another one of my fondest memories is when I had the house set in one of my aunt's house. One time, I had some me, because me and some of the friends, my boys, we all stayed in my aunt's house. That's the house set. Just relaxing, because she was upstate in New York. He hadn't moved down yet. So my older brother, he was really watching the house, but he was out of town. So he said, hey guys, y'all can chill just watch the house. Let me tell you something. The biggest mistake that I made was not watching the house. It was drinking something I had no business drinking. Back then, the people that's in my era, they used to make Wolfpack. Say I'm a Wolfpack fan, but they used to make Wolfpack sodas, and it was a collectible. You never find them again. Let me tell you something. I went through them damn sodas like a machine. So once my older brother got back in town, he's like, "See them cans, says, man, what happened to my drinks, man? Those are collectibles." I said, "I drank them." He said, "Come on, man. You can never find those again." He never found them again. I drank every one of them. 12 pack. They were good too. They were really good. But like I said, that was a fun memory, even though I got laid out by my brother. But the memory was everlasting. Through the memory. Some things, like I say, you look back now and you laugh at them, which is a good thing. You're going to go through trials and tribulations. But through some of those trials, you make good memories. Through some of those tribulations, you may make a bad memory. It's okay. Look back now and kind of say, okay, and just laugh at some of that stuff. Just don't get all so uptight right now. Everything in the world is uptight right now. Kind of loosen up a little bit and just have fun. Just kind of have fun and laugh at some old memory. Pull out an old photo album. Kind of go back and look at some of the old photos. I guarantee you'll crack a smile. You will crack a smile to see how you actually look growing up. Because like I said, I look at my yearbook and I kind of get so tickled at some stuff. I'm like, did I actually wear that crap back then? I would be seeing some of that crap I wore back in the day. Now, I wouldn't. But it's just sometimes just creative. You want to create a fun memory. Create a fun one. Create it with your kids. Create it with your spouse. Create it with your buddy. You know what I'm saying? Your friend. Make a memory that it's unforgettable. This is one memory. Let me tell you something. I never forgot this, and to this day, I still forget this. I was probably 14, I'd be about 14, 13 or 14. And it's one of our neighbors. He used to come to our house all the time, help us out sometime on the farm. But this is one day we had a big falling out, and I'll never forget it. But one thing, it was on a Saturday, early Saturday morning. My father said, all right, you two, y'all going to fish, which is right down to the cow pasture. The river runs back there. In some parts of the river, you can walk straight across it to get to the other side. Anyway, my father told the guy, he said, hey, y'all be careful down there. And he directly to him, said, if he gets in that water, you let me know, because I almost got drowned in the river before that. He said, if he gets in the river, let me know. He said, okay. How we get down to the river and go fishing? When we're fishing that, there's no fish biting. So this cat, he recommends to me, hey, let's go to the other side and find a good fishing spot. He recommends it. So I'm following. I said, okay, I'm following him. So just like I said, it's a soft spot there where you walk across rocks and go straight across. Because it's at low tide and the river is real low and not high. So we crossed over and we're fishing. I think we catch a couple of fish, not that many. So it's all good. We get home. He goes his way, I go my way. It's Saturday. It's on Saturday because I know Sunday we're going to church that Sunday. I don't know what happened between Saturday and Sunday. I really don't. When it came to Sunday after church, he comes down to the house. He's talking to my father. He's saying like, hey, because the father didn't see us that Saturday after, because he was going, I think he was going in town or something. So he asked him, says, how does thing goes, yeah, but we can walk across the water. I'm like, to myself, this guy told me to go across the water with him. Then he tells my father, and he knew what happened. Yeah. My father he turned up. He turned up on me, and I kicked it. And from that day at 14, I told him that never, even though we were in the same church together, I told him, don't ever come play with me ever again. I hated that guy for that, man. Because he sought me up failure when he know We both in there together. But how you gonna tell me to go across the creek, go across the river, and you asked me to go there, and then you decide to throw me under the bus, and you knew what he knew what was gonna happen, because he knew when my father said, "Don't do," he mean don't do. And I'm like, I could never forgive him for that. I couldn't. It was just hard for me to forgive. Even though I was 14, I just could not forgive him for that. Because that was the hardest thing for me as a young kid, trusting you that you will tell him it's because something you asked me to do was just stay between you, him, and I. But it didn't. And I'm always been that person. I will hold a grudge. I do. It's just who I am. I hold grudges. But eventually I let them go. It takes time for me. It does take, it takes a lot of time. But anyway, not going on that deep stuff. But anyway, I'm just saying I have had some good memories in my life, and I still want more to come. As well as you should. Make those everlasting memories with your family and your friends. And sometimes, 'cause like I said, that you always may have, or that person moves on to wherever he's going to. Just having that special, priceless memory that you look back and just bust out laughing at. Those are worth everything. Don't you ever stop making memories. You like I said, people don't think you can buy the biggest car, the nicest cars that you want, but the one thing you can't buy is a memory. Because they are priceless. You can't put money on it. But enjoy your day. Thank you for listening to me.